Is this season over yet? I mean, my goodness. Welcome in, everybody. I am Seth Floyd Hansen. This is the latest and greatest edition video of the Seth Floyd Show. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm actually in better spirits than you probably would guess, given how bad that football game was today. I, of course, will talk 49ers Chiefs reaction, but before we do, I wanted to hit on one other thing. I want to talk about the Vikings a little bit, which I've hit a few times. Okay, Vikings fans, hope you're in the video, hope you're in the chat, in the in the comments. Like and subscribe. I've done Vikings videos before. I wanted to hit on a couple things there, and then I'll get to the 49ers. First, Vikings fans, I actually think after that game today, you should feel pretty good, pretty confident, and optimistic going forward. Why? It is obvious watching those two teams play today that the Vikings and Lions are the class of the NFC, that they are the best two teams in the NFC. And if it weren't for you guys playing in the same division, I would assume you guys would be in the NFC Championship game. I mentioned before, where you're going to get screwed is one of you is going to be the 1 seed. The other team is going to be like the 5 seed, and there's a good chance that you'll have to play the other in the divisional round. Regardless, those are the two best teams in the NFC. And that game could have gone either way. Vikings fans, I'm happy for you that you've got stuff going on the offense. I'm happy that Sam Darnold is playing at the highest level he's ever played at in his career. But don't fool yourself like the story of the Vikings is their defense. Coming up with the big strips. I thought you guys had won the game with that strip, the punching the ball out and the scoop and score. I thought you guys had won the game. Heartbreaking way to lose. And you know what? As I watched that and I saw you guys lose basically on the field goal. I know you got sacked at the end of the game, but basically the field goal sealed it. You guys remind me of the 2019 49ers. They started 8-0. I think it was 8-0. Maybe it was 9-0. Then they played Seattle on a Monday night game and lost a heartbreaker at home in overtime. And that's exactly what happened to you guys today. You guys were 5-0, so not as far along in the season. Play a really tough division opponent, lose a heartbreaker, and guess what? The 49ers that year still went on to be the 1 seed, made it to the Super Bowl. You should be optimistic and excited, even though you already believed that you were at the top of the NFC. Like this today confirmed it for me. Now, if you want to, I think if you play the Lions 10 times in a season, it probably splits 5-5. Because I think the Lions are that good. They got hurt a little bit. No Aiden Hutchinson. Didn't matter today. But I think that's clearly the top two. And let's be honest, you guys have a much easier schedule remaining. Because you were third place, you're playing a third place schedule. Detroit, they have to play a first place schedule the rest of the way. So Detroit's not going to fall apart and lose 5 games. But you both are 5-1. You both, you guys still have to play each other one time. And then let's look at Detroit's rest of their schedule. I won't go through everything, but some of the notable games. They have to play Houston, in Houston. They still have to play the Packers twice, okay? They still have to play the Bills. Now that game's at home. They still have to play the 49ers, which I understand the 49ers are 3-4. But even if the Niners aren't a Super Bowl contender this year, they're a tough out. And Jared Goff has to play the Niners on the road. You know that Jared Goff is a different quarterback outdoors. And he's got to play the Niners on the road on a Monday Night Football game, second to last game of the year. So what I'm saying is that's a tough schedule. My guess is they're probably losing 2 of those games that I just mentioned. Maybe 3, but probably 2. Okay? And that's before they get to you guys. Okay? So I feel like at worst, the Lions are going to be 13-4. At the worst. If they lost 2 games and then lost to you guys in Week 18, that would have put them at 13-4. You guys, on the other hand, like your toughest games, you've played most of them. You've played most of them, as you probably know. You've got the Packers one more time, but you get them at home. You already beat them in Lambeau, so you got to feel pretty good about that. I'm more down on the Packers. I know the Packers just beat the Texans today, and the Packers are for sure a playoff team, but their defense has issues. Jordan Love will 100% turn the ball over. And that's what your guys' defense does. It's a terrible matchup for the Packers. It's a terrible matchup for the Packers because Jordan Love turns the ball over, and that's what you guys eat off of. So, I wouldn't imagine you're going to lose that game at home. You already beat them on the road. You got to play the Lions again, and you play them in Detroit, which is unfortunate. But I mean, other than that, you don't have any heavy hitters coming your way. The other good thing, it sucks to lose, but you guys get a quick turnaround. You get to play not St. Louis. What's their names? The Los Angeles Rams. Okay, you get them at home. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, I'm not wrong about that. Pretty sure you get them at home. Short week, you get to get rid of this loss quick. It's not even a bad loss. It's a good loss. If there's no such thing as good losses, two best teams in the NFC, you guys just came up a point short. Not the end of the world. Definitely not the end of the world. And you guys should feel good. If I had to put money on it, I would still put you guys as the favorite. I would put money on you to be the 1 seed. Just given your schedule. I think you're the two best teams in the NFC. You have an easier schedule than Detroit. It might not even matter that last game in Detroit. You might have already clinched it for all we know. Just that's how easy your schedule is going forward. And in combination of how good you look. So Vikings fans, my Vikings friends that I've made over the past few months, it's not doom and gloom. Be excited because you got a lot of good things going for you. Now, my 49er friends, 49er fans, golly. Do you want to know what the definition of a Super Bowl hangover is? Because I'll give it to you. The definition of a Super Bowl hangover is you're about to be in the rematch of the Super Bowl, okay? The Kansas City Chiefs coming into Levi's, and guess what? Your best playmaker, let's call him the best playmaker on the team right now with CMC out, gets the stomach bug the day of the game and can't play. He's been healthy all week. At least he was healthy the last couple days of practice. No contact jersey, was a full go. Wakes up, going through drills, and all of a sudden has a stomach bug. That is the definition of a Super Bowl hangover. This is the season from hell for 49ers fans. Outside of 2020, that one still was worse because your quarterback was hurt and it was just terrible. But this is up there. That is as bad as it gets. And then Ayuk, he's gone, guys. He's gone. That ACL's gone. That knee, when that knee bends inside like that, wasn't like a hyperextension bone bruise. That knee went inside and caved inside, and he's gone. He's done for the year. And it's hard to, he's probably not going to be 100% come training camp, come week 1. It sucks. It sucks. That being said, you can't expect to win when you don't have your top 3 receivers. Now, it might not have made a difference, as we've known. The Chiefs are just our dad, our father, and we can't beat them. So it might not have made a difference, but you're definitely, I'm just saying, you for sure are not going to win when you don't have Ayuk, when you don't have Debo, when you don't have Juwan Jennings. Okay, you were running out the last little few drives there when the game was still close. You were running out Chris Conley, Ricky Pearsall, and Jacob Cowing, Ronnie Bell, and oh my gosh, man, Ronnie Bell. I don't have any words for Ronnie Bell. It did sound like, though, that it was a bad throw by Brock, but whatever. The point is you never stood a shot today with those guys out. And it sucks because the defense was so good today. The defense is the one thing it's going to get overlooked and not talked about enough, and that's fine. Maybe by 49er fans, please realize how good the defense played today. I know at the end it looked like you gave up 28 points, so that's less than ideal. But the offense couldn't get anything going in that first half. Brock looked terrible. That's the other thing. I'm not making excuses for Brock. He had his top 3 receivers are out, so that's going to make it harder. But he threw 3 really bad picks today. The first and third one were atrocious. Okay, the first one, he never saw Justin Reed. The third one, I know he got hit. He was throwing that ball into double coverage no matter what on that third one. And that sucks. And the second one is probably the most egregious of them all. I think there was a miscommunication from Ronnie Bell. I wish he had just thrown it to where Ronnie Bell was going because he was wide open. But it looked like he thought he was going down, so it wasn't like he didn't see a guy. But that one sucked because you were in field goal range. You were at least going to take the lead, assuming the kicker Carlson could make a kick, which he couldn't make a PAT, so whatever. But you would have, if he makes it, it's a reasonable field goal, 40 yards, you would have been up 15-14. So Brock played bad. He played terrible. He had a couple fine throws, okay, but that was like Baltimore Ravens bad. So in combination of no receivers and Brock playing so bad, like you didn't stand a chance. But the defense played well. The defense played really well. And if the offense had sustained any kind of drives in the first half, you probably would have held them to 7 points, maybe less. Like, I don't know, 7 for sure. But you kept giving the ball away. So there was no rhythm, and that is frustrating. That's frustrating. But defensively, man, you forced a couple interceptions. I'm not even mad. Like, don't buy into this, okay? Like, of course, that Pat Mahomes scramble is atrocious. That he got 33 yards. You all know what I'm talking about. But Kirk Burkhardt, is that how you say his name? He's that, like, he was in the Niners, QB3 for like a training camp. He played for the Packers for a little bit. He's really active on Twitter. He said it best. He was like, the Niners, like, the Niners missing on that scramble is not because Patrick Mahomes is so much more athletic than everybody. He said, this is the reason you need to let quarterbacks get smoked on the sideline, because you can see guys holding up. They're slowing down because they think he's going to go out of bounds, because they know if they just hit him, it's going to be a penalty. And of course, maybe you could just run to him and bump into him, whatever, but like subconsciously, it's Pat Mahomes. He gets that call every time. So you have guys slowing up, and Pat Mahomes, like rightfully so, made you pay because he saw that you were slowing up. Now, Fred Warner missed him on that play. That was bad, but it looked like D. Winters was unsure. Anyway, outside of that play, the defense played really well. The defense played great, really good. And if you get that defensive performance the rest of the way, like, the team is going to be okay. I'm not saying Super Bowl contenders, but like the defense was definitely not the problem today. And if you'd had a better output from the offense, I think you maybe could have got him. You maybe could have got him today, but you just didn't have it on offense. Special teams is a problem. Big punt return, missed the kick. I know the kick isn't on the special teams coordinator, but why can't we just get anything to work? Why can't anything work for them? Why is it such a glaring thing every single week? I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, what else do I got? Ayuk's done for the season. Oh, that means Kyle Shanahan, you have to play your rookies. Play them. Please play them. Please get Ronnie Bell out of there. Look at Cowing. Cowing got in there, had 2 catches. Also, why aren't you running that quick wide receiver screen? You ran it twice. Both times was like an 8-yard gain. Cowing had one, took it like 8 yards in the red zone. Then he had the big 41-yard completion. Like, put them in the game. You drafted them. Put them in the game. I know Pearsall's going to play. I know he's going to get a lot of time. He caught like 5 balls a day. Nothing super impactful. He had 1 catch in the first half and then a few garbage time catches. But you got to play him. Stop playing Ronnie Bell. Stop playing Chris Conley so much. I don't think Chris Conley has a catch this season. Stop playing those dudes. Relegate them to special teams. You drafted these guys with Ayuk being out. There's no one to trade for. You're not trading for somebody who's going to come in midseason and do that work for you. Just put Pearsall in that Ayuk role the best you can. Put Cowing in a role where he stretches the defense. You're going to get Ayuk or Debo back this week, assuming this is just a stomach bug. You're going to get Jennings back. I am assuming his hip will get better. Play your rookies and let them develop. Okay, that's my biggest takeaway from just kind of watching what happened today. I'm not giving up on the season. What do I mean by that? Well, I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl, and I don't think we're Super Bowl contenders. But I do think that there's something to be said for, like, guys, most like, if I told you before the season, like, I'm not going to let this game stop me from believing in this season that it could still be a successful one. If I told you before the season, hey, you're going to play the Chiefs, and your top 3 wide receivers are going to be out most of the game, you'd have been like, yeah, we're going to lose. And actually, this game was pretty tight till the middle of the fourth quarter. So I'm not going to knee-jerk overreact that the season's over, okay? Because I've already seen that. I've seen people talking about selling, just miss the playoffs, you're not a Super Bowl team anyway. Guys, I couldn't disagree more. And I'll give you a couple reasons why. What you want to tank? Like, you want to intentionally lose games? That's the only way that the draft situation might turn out to be worth it. Like, if you go from pick 25 and you make the playoffs and whatever, and you land at pick 25, or you land at pick 20, versus if you'd missed the playoffs, you would have landed at 16 or 15. Guys, that draft is such a crapshoot. you have as good of a chance of getting a starter impact player at pick 20 or 25 as you do at pick 15. Let's look at some of these first round picks by the 49ers. Okay, I know we haven't had that many in recent memory. Okay, but let's look at some of these first round picks since Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have been here. Okay, you've had Solomon Thomas, bust. Okay, you had Mike McGlinchey, serviceable, but you didn't re-sign him to a second contract. Okay, Javon Kinlaw, that's a bust. Okay, that's 3 guys right there. Trey Lance was the 3rd overall pick. So was Solomon Thomas, both 3rd overall picks, both of them bad. Didn't re-sign them. So my point is, like, you should not be rooting for draft position until you're mathematically eliminated. Because I'll go out a limb and say you're as likely to get to the playoffs and get hot and go on a run as you are likely to draft somebody anywhere from 15 to 25 and then be a stud and immediately impact your team and make them better. I would put my money on Kyle Shanahan going on a run in the playoffs than finding an absolute dog at 15 that makes your team better. Why? Because I've seen both of those stories. I've seen them whiff on first round picks. And then on the flip side, I've seen the Niners have slow starts and then get to the playoffs and make a run to the NFC Championship game at least. And that's way more fun to watch as a fan than, okay, we missed the playoffs. Awesome, we missed the playoffs. Now we're picking at 14. And then it comes around and you pick Javon Kinlaw. And guess what? He sucks. And then you're like, oh, why did we tank? Why did we miss the playoffs? Now, along with that, Kyle Shanahan will not believe that he can't win the Super Bowl until he's mathematically eliminated. So if you're hoping that the Niners are just going to, they're not going to tank. People don't realistically tank in the NFL until week 17, week 18 in there. And you are eliminated and you're like, oh, maybe we can get the first overall pick. And then they might do some tricky things, playing reserves and playing backups and stuff. The Niners aren't going to do that. You're not going to see John Lynch trading away guys to stockpile picks for this draft. I'm telling you right now, the division isn't good. I'm not saying you're going to win it because it's not a lock, but the division's not good. Seattle had a good win in Atlanta today, but the division is far from great. So that alone, they're going to be like, yeah, we're just going to try to go on a run here. You just played the toughest team on your schedule. You just played the best team on your schedule. And Kyle Shanahan said to himself, you're going to play the toughest defense on our schedule was today against Kansas City. Oh, and guess what? They had a week off to prepare for you. So I'm not going to freak out over that. It sucks you're 3-4. You've put yourself in this position. We were 3-4 in 2022, and we made it happen. We were 3-5 in 2021, and we went on a run. That's what they're expecting. So there's not going to be trading away guys for draft picks just to tank because they don't think they're Super Bowl contenders because they believe they are Super Bowl contenders until they are mathematically eliminated. Right or wrong, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen. So put that out of your head that they might do that because they're not. They're not going to do that. They're not. And yeah, I'm going to see what else do I got. I think that's all I got. My outcomes for this season, best case scenarios, okay? You got to win the division probably to make the playoffs. So best case scenario, you win the division. You're a 3 or a 4 seed, most likely. You might win a playoff game because you're at home. You most likely are losing in the divisional round on the road. That seems like the most likely scenario. That's not going on a run. That's not getting on the playoffs. That's always a possibility. And of course, your boy's going to cheer for it, and so will all of you if they win the division. But it's probably not the most likely thing. Just based on how the season's going, maybe you get CMC back and you get Dre Greenlaw back at some point, and all of a sudden, you start peaking at the right time, maybe. But they gotta fix some things, and it starts with Dallas next week. So that's what I got for you. You got Dallas coming up, Sunday Night Football. You better take care of business. You better be ready to go. Brock needs a bounce back game. Debo, puke up whatever stomach bug there is. Ayuk, get healthy, man. Get healthy soon, which it won't be soon, but I feel for you. You haven't been my favorite player this year just based on performance. You haven't been happy with your performance. But of course, I never want anyone to get hurt, especially one of our own dudes, so that sucks. And Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, it's your time to step up. And 49ers defense, just keep balling. The score didn't reflect it, but keep balling and we'll see what happens. That's what I got. Please, guys, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. We've seen better days. Maybe this will get over soon. Who knows? But that's what I got. I'm out.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.